Hey everyone, Mike here from MLive.com, joined by Justin Rogers. Week 6, Lions head up to Minnesota to face the Vikings at TCF Bank Stadium, outdoors. What's your take?
We're representing 2 of the 50 Shades of Grey, it appears today. Lions Vikings. On that note,
Nothing sexy about the Vikings offense this year.
I disagree. Teddy Bridgewater makes them a very intriguing group, and I like their wide receivers. Cordarrelle Patterson, Jarius Wright are 2 guys that can do a lot, but they're missing Adrian Peterson. It's not as dynamic as it could have been. But looking at this matchup, I think there's a lot of things that even though the Lions are a more talented team, I'm kind of leaning toward the Vikings right now.
See, I'm the other way. I see the Lions as being the more talented team, and I do see the Lions winning this game. I don't think it'll be easy, but I do feel like the offense is due, and maybe that's a bad way to think about it. But the offense is the offensive line's only going to get better. You have to think Stafford's adjusting now to some of the pressures he's faced, and they've had a whole week to prepare for the possibility of not having Calvin Johnson. Whereas last week it was kind of a mid-game type of adjustment they had to make. So something they can be better prepared for. Joyke Bell is back. Theo Riddick is back. Add in George Wynn. I just feel like that offense is going to maybe find its way a little bit up in Minnesota.
Yeah, I look at the Vikings defense. They haven't been great. They just got torched by Green Bay on a short week, but they've had 10 days to let that sit. Mike Zimmer is a very good defensive coach. He's done it at multiple stops, and it's only a matter of time. Maybe not right now, but Minnesota's going to be, I think, a good defensive football team under him. They bring a lot of pressure, a lot of blitz packages. They're blitzing about a quarter of the snaps. I think they're going to find ways to kind of expose some of the struggles the Lions have had up front. The right tackle and left guard spots have been problematic spots for the Lions, but it's really been all 5 guys, and it goes even to the tight ends in the back. So I'm not convinced they're going to sort it out this week. I don't think the Lions' offense with Calvin out is going to be, particularly sharp.
Well, listen, the passing game might struggle a little bit given the pressures the Vikings do have. But against the run, they haven't been particularly good. I think they're 18th or 19th in the league, and that I think is going to be a benefit for the Lions, who, let's face it, have not been good offensively, and that's especially true in the running game. They're among the league's worst in yards per attempt. But look at the teams they've also faced. They've faced Buffalo, and they've faced Carolina,
New York Jets.
Exactly. Those are 3 of the best front sevens in the whole league. And so I think that does skew the stats just a little bit. I think they'll find some creases once they get away from some of those great defensive fronts, and that could happen this week against the Vikings, I think.
And Reggie Bush is questionable. I don't think he's going to play, but it's a coin flip. But if it's Bell and Wynn as the 2 primary ball carriers, that's probably a good sign for picking up yards per carry. It's not more of a boom or bust thing with Bush. Those are 2 guys that are just going to be going straight forward, one cut. They're not going to get a lot of negative carries, so it should help the average. And we saw Wynn, hit the hole pretty well last week, and they were there. The holes were there, so the offensive line at least showed some growth and consistency there, opening up lanes for the backs.
We heard throughout the offseason about Theo Riddick and how he was really, this breakout player. Haven't seen it so far. Only 6 touches. He has fewer rushing yards than Matthew Stafford. But I think this could be the week we see more out of him, just given the numbers game. Bush is out, and Riddick can fill that Bush role in the passing game. So if that's what the Lions want, and they might, with Calvin Johnson not playing, they might need some more of those weapons in the passing game, including from the backfield, and that would be Theo Riddick. So this could be the week you see a little bit more from him as well.
I'm surprised we haven't seen him more up to the stretch. Obviously, last week he was out with the hamstring injury. I never expected him to have a lot of carries, a lot of rushing yards. The fact that Stafford is ahead of him, that doesn't surprise me. He has 0 targets in the passing game, 0. And given the fact that Broyles hasn't been active, they've been using Ross so heavily in the slot. I thought we'd see more of Riddick in the slot, more creative uses of him in packages, and we really haven't seen that yet. Of course, we haven't seen the whole playbook, but still a little odd after all the hype he got in the preseason.
Score for this game.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Teddy Bridgewater and all that, but I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. I think the Vikings can move the ball successfully enough to score enough points to beat the struggling Lions offense. I've got it 2017 Vikings.
Okay, I've got 24-23 Lions. Maybe I'm drinking too much of the Kool-Aid, but I look at a rookie quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, coming off an injury, and he's got to face the Lions' defensive front seven, and I think the front four is playing as well as any front four in the league right now. I think that's going to be a bad matchup for the Vikings. I think that'll set up the Lions for some good opportunities to get on the scoreboard, which is something they haven't done enough of the past couple of weeks. And let's face it, they have a kicker now, and that's going to help a lot too. I think Absolutely. That does. I mean, he was given a round of applause when he was introduced in the team meeting room this week. That tells you all you need to know about where the players were at with their frustrations with the kicking game previously. I just think all those things combined would be too much for the Vikings, which are okay, but just in my mind not talented enough to win this game.
Yeah, Bridgewater is the X factor to me. He has one game under his belt, one mostly full game. He destroyed the Atlanta Falcons, but that's pretty much a garbage defense, so it's tough to get a read on. But I compare him in terms of skill set, not obviously not physical build, but he does run an offense very similarly to Cam Newton. A lot of read option, play action stuff. Newton had a lot of success against the Lions, and he didn't have as good of offensive weapons as Bridgewater has. So I do think the Vikings will be able to move the ball. I think that play action is very tough to defend. DeAndre Levy and Tahir Whitehead are going to have to be real sharp in this one. Hedebo might have 30 tackles.
Yeah, I agree. The style between Newton and Bridgewater is fair, but one is better than the other. And Bridgewater's a rookie, and I think I like the Lions matchup. It's that front seven. I think they're going to give him fits, and rookies, especially rookie quarterbacks, don't always respond well to that kind of fit.
That's the key. I mean, if they get pressure on Bridgewater, I think that, and maybe that's oversimplified. Maybe that's the key every week. But you get pressure on the quarterback, you slow them down, and I talked to a couple defenders this week. One told me that they're going to try to give him some looks he hasn't seen in order to confuse him. And if they can do that, then I think they can do enough to win.
That's what we got. Justin Rogers taking the Vikings. I'm right taking the Lions.
This business isn't about making friends.
I can't wait to tell you I told you so on Monday. For Justin Rogers, I'm Kyle Meinke. We are MLive. Keep it right here.